God, what you need is one phone call away. KT, nice to meet ya. Say your price is too high, guaranteed I can beat ya. Say you got a plug, buddy texting. New relation.
What it do, Grasshopper fam? You already know, man. We're back. We're back for another episode, baby. Welcome to the Tapped In with Grasshopper podcast for all you new guys and all the old guys. If you feel like this content is helpful, feel like it's informative, or you just like the shit, just comment, like, subscribe, share it. You already know all that good shit, man. Hit that bell. Helps out a lot. You know, all the engagement, all the interaction keeps us going. Any donations, contributions are helpful. You can hit the Venmo at the bottom of the screen at I am Zach Powers or at Powered by Success. That's going to be the Venmo. Sponsorships are available for your brand, company, or product. If you want to get some eyes, get some visibility on your product, get some visibility on your brand, definitely tap in on the DMs on IG at I am Zach Powers. Y'all already know, man. I'm your host, Grasshopper. Today, we're going to discuss where is the market going? Where's it going, man? I think a lot of us have this question. A lot of us are wondering what the fuck's about to happen. It's been a crazy couple of years, man. You know, it's been a crazy couple of years, and I think we're all wondering what's going on, man. Where's this thing going? Where are we going to end up? Because we've seen what's been happening. We've seen where we've been going. Hold on, let me pin this. Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of years, man. We're all wondering where the fuck is this thing going, dude? For real. Because, market ain't getting any better. It's real sweet. It was real sweet last year. And things are definitely changing. So, shit, man, real quick, man, what's new? We got, I just dropped these hats. I just dropped these custom designer hats. I only got a couple left, but we dropped 24. I'm down to probably like 4 or 5 total. But these are all custom design hats. Custom. No two hats are the same. They're done by hand. You know what I'm saying? These are done by hand. This off-white that we got right here, this is custom blend done by yours truly, your boy. Dude, I make one hat and all of a sudden I'm a fashion designer. That's how it feels anyway. So, yeah, man. Let's get into this shit, bro. Let's see what's good. Definition of a market is a noun. This is a regular gathering of people for the purchase and sale of provisions, livestock, and other commodities. So, how we could translate that here, gathering of people in a specific place where people are buying and selling product, man. Buying and selling product, that's what we're doing, is buying and selling product, People have been thinking that this shit is so out of the norm for so long, but this is what we do. This is what we've been doing. This is how societies are built, man. Buy and sell, trade, barter, all that shit, man. This is what we're doing. We're in a market, You call it whatever you want. Call it the game. Call it the trap. Call it this, call it that, but it's a market, man. We're in a market at the end of the day. You got sellers, suppliers, distributors, wholesalers, cultivators, manufacturers, retailers, consumers, breeders in this case. So, yeah, man, I want to give a little history about the cannabis market. But before I do, I just want to say, we're really concerned about where this market is going, man. I think everybody in the game, we're all wondering what the fuck's going on. Where are we going to end up? And I want to shine some light on some things because me being a pioneer of what I do, me being a leader of what I do, I feel like I gotta at least shine some light on this, because I think there's a lot of people that are worried, a lot of people that are scared, and this is an unexplored map, man. This is unexplored. We're in an industry that's unexplored, bro. There's no blueprint. There's no blueprint to this shit. So it's like, who's got the answers? You know what I'm saying? Who's got the answers? Who can you call right now? Who can you buy a class from? Who can you send an email to? What resource can you tap in where they can guide you through this process about what's going to go down? Who's got the answers, man? Who's got the answers? I don't think anybody's got the answers, bro. I think we could try to make our best prediction, but I don't think anybody's got the answers. But let's shine some light on some things, Let me go through it with you guys, show you guys some things that I've found, some things that I've learned, and just overall just share some experience, man. Try to get my people as educated of a prediction as possible, and see if we can't figure out where this thing's going. So a little bit of history on the cannabis market, man. For the past couple decades, ever since marijuana was legalized in 1997 in California, we had Colorado that actually went legal before us, but there was a bill passed in 97 that allowed caregivers to take care of patients. And what that meant is that these patients could consume cannabis for medical purposes. So people became caregivers. They collected patients' information, and each caregiver would have a list of people that they are caregiving for. So, so then, these caregivers would have a location on where they dispensed. All right. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that word. Where they dispensed the cannabis. They dispensed the medicine. All right. They dispensed the medicine. So, a lot of these caregivers were dispensing the medicine to these patients who were permitted, because that's what was going on. Was to be a patient, you had to have a permit. You had to have a license, so to speak, a card. And to get this card, you go see a doctor, you get a recommendation, and then you're able to get a medical card. And that's what a lot of you guys still know. You guys still know that to this day in the medical field. People have to have a medical card. Consumers got to have a medical card. All right, so that's where that came from. And, for the past 2 decades-ish, a little more than 2 decades, it's been a ride, man. I just from reading all the stuff I read, it's like you got a lot of people who needed product but needed cannabis and couldn't get it. Then, in the 2000s, mid 2000s, you started seeing a lot of these dispensaries pop up. A lot of dispensaries started to pop up, underground dispensaries that were, pretty much like speakeasies, but of cannabis. And, a couple years later, you started getting these pre-ICO guys. 2007 rolls around. LA's got pre-ICO shops. A couple of them are Jungle Boys, DTPG, Los Angeles Kush, the Cure Company. You got a couple people, man. Circle, was it something City Caregivers, CCC? But yeah, man, there's 2007, you start getting pre-ICOs. About 100 shops were legally allowed to open, as long as they got a business permit through the city, and they filed before a certain date. So, and over the next 15 years, you just got people popping open dispensaries across the state, across the state, mainly in SoCal. You got a ton of dispensaries, Riverside all the way to LA, San Diego. And, that brings us, to 2022, or really, let's jump to 2018, 2019, where marijuana went legal in the state of California. And, it was really 2017, I think, is when the law was passed. Shit, man, tripping. Pretty sure it's 2017 it passed. 2018, you started seeing some different stores open, dispensaries and such. 2019 was like, you know, you saw a lot of people close down, open up. And that brings us here, you know, 2022, about 4 or 5 years into legalization here in California. Game is crazy. Game is really it's a disaster right now. You know, prices are going crazy. Supply chain going crazy. You know, I think consumers have more options and they know what to do with. And personally, I think that there's more weed being produced than what the nation can smoke. That's my opinion. I think there's more weed being produced, more cannabis products being made than produced than the nation can consume. Like they can't consume all this shit, so we'll talk about that later on in this topic. I mean, in this show, because I got something for that. But yeah, so just limited access, high prices, increasing demand, and then these are all things that you've seen over the past 20, 25 years in the market. And with the legalization of cannabis in California, it's just been crazy, man. So, 2019 and 2020, there's been this drought. It's like somewhat of a drought when it came to cannabis. And, I still don't know why. I still don't know why there's been a drought. I think 2020 it happened because a lot of transport was shut down. A lot of people weren't going to and from, so I think there was a lot less access to other states and things like that. So I think there became a drought in the wholesale market, and it's just been it's been a crazy time, man. Been a crazy time, crazy sweet drought of 2020 was like holy grail for a lot of people. And I think because so many people closed down as farmers in 2018, you see, because that was like a very low point in the cannabis market as far as pricing. I think that, there was a drought in 2019 because a lot of people just shut the doors. I think in 2018, 2019 prices just skyrocketed, and a lot of people were making money in 2019. Shout out to 2019, bro. Fuck with that. I had just gotten back in the market, mid 2019, and shit was booming. So, boom, let's skip forward to 2020, and I think the pandemic really changed some things. Shut down a lot of transport, a lot of movement. Any like non-essential, businesses were closed, non-essential. So there's a lot of transport falling off the road. And yeah, man, so prices skyrocketed, and, the weed market was booming for everybody in Cali. And, I think that sparked a lot of companies deciding that they're going to double up on products. I think a lot of companies that saw that drought, people that were running out of weed, I think a lot of these farms went double. I think they went ham up here in Cali and just doubled up. Because, it's just, there was an article I heard where certain farmers doubled their output because of that drought. They didn't want to be caught lacking for the next year. So a lot of farms doubled up, man. And that's one of the reasons why, why we're seeing such a crazy flood. Which is what the current state of the market is here in California. There's a crazy flood, man. Crazy flood. Typically, these floods don't happen. If you've watched any of my shows, you'll know what a drought and a flood is. But you've seen such a flood right now. And it's the current state of the market. It's a flood, and a lot of people are starting to panic because people normally can just move their product through the market. And summertime is generally a really good time of year because you typically have a drought and you're able to move product. Prices go up. There's limited supply. So typically right now we're in September. So, You'd have seen like a little depth drop. Here, like you're seeing a little depth drop around August. But even still with the depth drop in August, we still be moving product all the way through October. You know what I mean? Which is when Croptober comes, which is the flood season. So it's summer and we're in September, and there really was no drought this season. I think a lot of guys are wondering what the fuck is going on. What's up with this? What's up with the drought, man? I think a lot of people were like really hoping for that. You know what I'm saying? Like people were expecting it, so people geared up, got ready, and that drought never came. So here we are in September, end of drought season, and October's next. October's coming up. October's next, man. What are you guys gonna do? What are you guys gonna do next month, man? October's coming. Feel me? It's about to be Croptober. So November and December are gonna be excruciating. They're gonna be painful for a lot of people. Be very painful for a lot of people. They're gonna be very painful for a lot of people. So, I think there's different reasons why we're in this flood. So like I said, I explained, typically this would be end of drought season, flood season would be coming. So, considering that there was no drought this year, that's really like a flood all year long. It's just a lot of work. I think there's a couple different reasons why. And I wanted to go over those with you guys. A couple different reasons why there was a flood this season. So you got crop season of 2020, which was last year. I think that really kicked it off. That really kicked it off for us last year. Maybe even that depth drop right before flood season, right before October. But either way, like crop season of 2020 kind of just set it up like with all the outdoors for the beginning of the year. And I think we just saw a major amount of outdoors all year long. And that's what we're still seeing. We're still seeing a major amount of outdoors. We're still seeing a major amount of depths. Like it's like the AAA depths went away for a short period of time this year. But I'm seeing a ton of AAA depths still. Like I'm seeing some fire, dog. I'm seeing some AAA OGs with the gas nose. I'm seeing, the perped out ice creams, perped out gelatos. I never saw any like real perped out depth gelatos this year or perped out depth runts, but I did see a lot of close ones. I did see some like gelato depths that had nose, but the purple, it's the bud wasn't up to par. It was just like still outdoorsy. Still outdoorsy. Still saw some of those characteristics of you still saw a lot of those outdoor characteristics. Like you saw stems. The nose wasn't exactly there. Some of the nugs weren't just pristine. You could just tell. You know what I'm saying? And all the runts I feel like I've seen this year have been green. They've been green runts, but it definitely had the nose. You know what I'm saying? I definitely had the nose. I'm smelling lemon cherry gelatos, bro. I'm smelling runts. So, they're out there. I'm sure you guys are seeing them too. So, crop season, man, really kicked off this season hard. I think it's just a double up. Like I said, I think it was a double up from last year. There's a double up, which, here in Cali, I think they just doubled up on output, some people, and just, I don't know, really spitting it into the market. Another thing I think, carried this obviously, which does every year. This isn't anything different to expect, was just the back-to-back depth drops. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had 2 depth drops. Like, depth drops are usually just like a stimulation to the market. We usually will feel it and be like, oh, okay, yeah, the depths. Start seeing the depths float around, and then it goes away and it dries back up. And then, you know what I'm saying? You see it's cracking. So, I don't think anybody really felt that this year. I think it's just like streamlined, a lot of weed around all the time, all year long this year. Plus, you're seeing other states coming online, man. You're seeing a lot of other guys come online. Like, I'm not gonna name all the states, but just a couple that I know that are like contending. You know what I'm saying, for like production of cannabis. I don't know how good Missouri has gotten yet. Like, I don't know exactly where they're at with their regulation, but from what I read, Missouri is going to make it easy for people to be able to grow a lot of weed. Could be wrong, though. Michigan for sure. Michigan's been on deck since, I think, did they come right before Cali? I think they legalized the year before Cali. And, Michigan was going ham, bro. So shout out to Michigan, man. Y'all, they've been doing their shit, bro. Miss all my Detroit people, man. Miss all my other boys in Michigan, dog. I mean, damn, man. I'm saying Michigan is a great market. A lot of brands out there, and I really appreciate how they were before COVID. I appreciate how they were participating in all the High Times events. You know what I'm saying? I miss Cannabis Cup, dog. I wish Cannabis Cup would get as big as it did, as big as it was. So. Michigan came 2019. So they came a year after Cali. 2 years. They came 2 years after Cali. Yeah, 2017. Yep. So Michigan, man, shout out to them. Miss them boys. Because I already know, man, when you want to step it up, dog, you already know who to call, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm nothing but a flight away. So yeah, bro. Another thing, man. Another state, Oklahoma, bro. Heavy hitter, bro. Heavy hitter. Oklahoma has no canopy cap, bro, on grow operations. And honestly, they currently has over 6,000 grow licensees. So you got no canopy cap, meaning you can grow as much pot as you want on your farm. If you get a pot license to grow, you can grow as much weed as you possibly can. And you could do that indoor, you could do that outdoor. So that state went ham by not putting that cap. I think the state said, fuck it. It's gonna get like that anyway. So let's just turn this bitch up. No cap, bruh. No cap. So they got no canopy cap. And no ban on or no limit on the amount of grow licenses that can go out. So it's crazy, dog. 6,000 over 6,000 grow licensees in the state of Oklahoma right now. Not to mention how centrally located they are to the rest of the USA. Not to mention that, they're centrally located, dog. So they got potential to be a major hub to the rest of the USA. Texas don't even tap in really no more. I know a lot of my boys understand that, and even my boys in Texas, they know what's up. Texas is pretty much just doing their shit. They're neighboring city. They're a neighboring city to that shit. So I think Oklahoma has Texas on lock. It's my opinion. I remember people back in the day being like, yeah, fuck that, what is Oklahoma going to have? we know the quality won't be there, blah, blah, blah. But I'm saying I think people definitely underestimated Oklahoma. That's what I think. People definitely underestimated that shit. So shout out to Oklahoma, my pops out there in Oklahoma. And, yeah, man, still definitely plan on going and doing Oklahoma. Another reason why I feel like there's such a major flood this year, is Canada. I think Canada has figured something out since they went legal in 2018. And I feel like Canada has figured something out, bro. And there are some major producers up there in Canada. I think this is something that very little people are thinking about right now is Canada. There's been so many busts at the Buffalo Canadian border Buffalo, I believe that's New York, Canadian border. According to Buffalo News, 40,000 pounds were seized in 2020 at the Canadian Buffalo border, which is 10 times more than what was seized in 2018. I'm sorry, 2019. That's 10 times more than what was seized in 2018. And since we've been in the first half of 2021, already about 20,000 pounds have been seized at that border. With that math, I mean, like, think about how many pounds actually get into the USA. Think about how many pounds really make it. You know what I'm saying? Because 40,000 pounds doesn't mean that they got all the weed that was transported. Those are just the ones that they caught, right? Those are just the ones that they caught. So how many of those got in? So if that's in Buffalo, feel me? Like, I mean, I didn't do the research on this, but how many other Canadian borders are there into the U.S.? Like border crossings. You know what I'm saying? Like, is there one for every state? I mean, so if that's just at the Buffalo Canadian border, 40,000 pounds in 2019. I'm sorry, 2020. Think about how many are getting into the other border connections to Canada. So that's just hundreds of thousands of pounds, bro, getting in. I think that's definitely an underdog. I think a lot of people are discounting Canadians' ability. But, you know, I'm reading multiple traffic stops that turn into weed, cannabis busts about that border. And they just go like back to back, bro, like at least one huge one a month. 100 lane crossings. 100. There's 100 lane crossings between U.S. and fucking Canada, bro. So that one that example I just gave you guys, 40,000 pounds of cannabis were seized in 1 year. You know what I'm saying? Like that's at one border crossing, bro. It's crazy, bro. There's 100 border crossings between Canada and Buffalo. So it's pretty hard to even do the math, you know, if you think about it. I think another reason why there was such a crazy flood this year, is hot hemp. Hot hemp. You got hemp farms. For those of you guys who don't know, hot hemp is when there's a hemp flower and it exceeds the amount of allotted THC. It exceeds the allotted amount of THC in a pot plant. So if you're a hemp farm, if you're licensed, permitted to grow hemp, that means that all the hemp, which is cannabis, which is marijuana, all the hemp that's grown on this farm has to have less than I think it's 0.05 THC or 0.03. The farm bill says that CBD farm bill. I don't remember what it's called, but it says that for it to be considered hemp, it has to have, I think, less than 0.03% THC in its overall contents. So hot hemp is when a hemp farm will produce some hemp, but it comes out with a higher THC content than what's allowed. So they've coined this term hot hemp. So, you know, according to this article I read, check this shit out. IGPR.org. Hemp farms earlier this year in Oregon were being tested for THC. So with that, with that being said, the reason why they're going to get tested for THC is because reports of hot hemp have been probably coming out of there. And probably have been for a while, you know. So somebody found out, became known, probably going to go do some testing at some facilities up there in Oregon. So since hemp can be grown legally with the right permits, and it can also be shipped out of state because of the Farm Bill of 2018. Sometimes product, yeah. So basically, the Farm Bill said that you can send this shit, bro. You can send CBD. I believe this bill said that you can ship CBD state to state. So if you could ship CBD or hemp, hemp cannabis across the state, this Farm Bill of 2018 allows that. What happens is sometimes the product is actually loaded with THC. It'll have more THC than what's allowed, and there's other there's other packs that are just straight up cannabis. So people are like masking their cannabis distribution as as hemp. I'm saying to do is hemp. So, with that being said, obviously that's going to allow more THC product to get into these other states that have limited access, right? So, a lot of people are getting weed probably from Oregon for low prices, and it's hot hemp. So you got these people, these CBD hemp farmers growing actual weed, shipping it out as hemp, and it's making it to its destination. Because of the lack of information, lack of testing, that's why a lot of these guys just let it go, because a lot of these states let it go because it's like, well, he says it's hemp, we don't have a way of testing it. So I guess, you show me your test results and then that lets you out the hook. Feel me? I also heard people were doing that in the mail too. Some kind of CBD test result, hemp test result, so throwing it on a piece of some tree and then wrapping it. And like, yo, this is, if they get into your box, they put the test results and they put a letter saying, hey, this is hemp, this is CBD, here's my license, this is what it is, yeah, and it shows, and then they let that slide. Man, hit that subscribe and like and comment, share button, all that shit, bro. I stay putting you guys on game, dog. Man, like, people are about to take this info and they're about to fucking, you know what I'm saying? They're about to go make some money on this. Go make some money on this. Good luck. I think another reason, one more reason that, there's a lot more weed in the market right now. Such a bad flood. I think that just that money ended. You know what I'm saying? Like, people had money. People were working in 2019, and people were working up until the beginning of 2020. So I think a lot of people just had money saved up. Plus, the government assistance, man. People had government assistance. Like, people were able to get unemployment, which ended recently. People were able to get, the stimulus checks, and like all kind of shit was going on. So people had money. People had money, and they didn't have to pay rent. So, you know what I'm saying? People were up. Bro. So the end of EDD benefits, bro. I think that's another reason why there's so much more product in the market. I think people just have less money, now. So people were just blowing through it, you know what I'm saying? Getting it in. People were just blowing all that money. I think it's run out, bro. It's run out. That money has ran out. So what are people gonna do? What are people gonna do? They're gonna cut off pretty much any recreational activity that's not a necessity. Although weed was an essential business in 2020. Cannabis was an essential business. Cannabis, that's what was crazy to me, bro. These, but hey, cannabis business were deemed essential in 2020. That's one thing that I could say that the state has done for the businesses, man. I think that's one of the things that the state that tax money went good to, man. just giving the state the ability to let cannabis businesses stay open. Like they really stepped up and were like, yo, you guys pay us so much tax money, like, stay open. So that's one thing that the tax money has done for the legal cannabis market. Yeah, you guys could stay open. So, but a lot of people just use the product recreationally. So I think in a time of a crisis or some kind of like, recession, whatever, which is probably what we're about to get up into here pretty soon here in California. I think people are going to cut out smoking weed. I think they probably already started. You know what I'm saying? Probably already started. People are just low on bread. So they're going to, that's what they're going to do, man. They're going to cut out recreational activities. And one of the recreational activities is smoking weed for a lot of people. So that's another reason why you see there being more product than needs to be. A lot less consumers. So, well, let's talk about some predictions, man. Let's talk about some predictions. Let's talk about some predictions, man. Cause I got a couple. Grasstradamus. Come on, dog. Grasstradamus in this bitch, bro. So look, man, what kind of predictions can we make with what we know already? What kind of predictions can we make with what we've seen? I think we could try to use prohibition. We could try to use prohibition as a good marker. So let's fuck it. Let's go for it. So prohibition pretty much ends in 1933 by the president at the time. He was like, "Yo, prohibition is done. Let's get it." And that was almost 100 years ago when that happened. So actually took till 1966 for all the bans to officially end in the states, because I think prohibition was abolished at a federal level, so I think the states probably still had an option to decide if they wanted to sell alcohol or not. But 1966, all bans of alcohol were officially abolished. Like that shit was just they ended. All the bans ended in 1966, which is really about 50 years ago. So if we try to compare the prices of the product back then, I think we can get a better idea of where we're headed, right? I tried to gather as much info as I could, guys, so bear with me here, but let's go, dog. A drink of alcohol, right? Like some shit that we fuck with in a store now, like at a bar now. A drink was about 85 cents. Now it's about $8.50, right? Now it's about $8.50. I would say $8, $8.50, somewhere in there. You go, you buy a drink. It's around that. That's fair, right? At least. Yeah. Yep. So, with that being said, then the product has increased at a retail level from, increased 10 times. It increased 10 times. So, we're at the beginning of prohibition ending for marijuana. I think. I don't know what would be the real beginning, if it was 2017 or what, but I think that with that being said, if that's the case, does that mean 100 years from now, retail product is going to go up times 10? So a joint that costs you $7 now in a dispensary, does that mean it's going to go up to 70? in 100 years? I was really thinking that, here's one thing that I could not find, bro. I couldn't find out how much 85 cents, what the dollar was back then. That's one thing I could not figure out was what was the dollar amount. What was the dollar worth back then? Like, right now, I know that a drink is $8.50. About $8.50. So I'm wondering how much $8.50 was back then. How much was $8.50 worth back then? Because by that math, we could figure out how much a drink was worth. So, anyways, if we can get that figured out, we'll know exactly where the prices are headed. We'll know where the prices are headed. 1920. Yeah. So, yeah. So,
If something costed $1 in 1920, in 2021 it would cost $13.68.
Gotcha. So that shows what the inflation would be. I want to know exactly how much the dollar was worth back then. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much was a dollar worth? Like, how much was $8.50 right now? In our money, $8.50. How much was that worth back then? So since then, man, we've had a mass flood. Glut. A lot of business going under. I think these are just some predictions I have. I think there's going to be a massive flood. I think there's going to be a massive glut. And I think a lot of businesses are going to go under, bro. I think a lot of cannabis businesses are going to go under. I think a lot of people aren't going to be able to keep up because, there are a good amount of businesses out there that are price-based. They go to that dollar amount, that bottom dollar amount, and they treat it like these prices won't crash, bro. So I think people have like a minimum, and then the prices go below that. I think it's going to knock a lot of people out of business, man. I think a lot of people aren't going to stay afloat by just being in competition based on price. I think it's going to just go down to a certain ticket, and then, that's probably where it'll stay, just like tobacco. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's tobacco and gas stations all across the nation, across the world. So I think a lot of businesses are just going to go under, bro. I also predict that customers are going to move on to a higher quality. I think there will. I don't think all of them. No way. Not all of them. But I do think that we're going to see. I do think that we're going to see a lot of custies are coming on, and they're going to start going with better quality. They're going to start going on with better quality. I see a lot of people already kind of getting curious, but you know what I'm saying? This is tough. It's tough because some people can't afford it, so it's understandable. I also predict that each state is going to end up, I think a lot of people, when they imagine it going legal, like they imagine all the states going to unify and everybody's going to be able to do business with everybody. But the way that these states are setting it up, bro, is where you can legally only do business in your state. That's one thing people aren't talk about is all these states, you can only do business in your state. You can only do business in your state. So if you can only do business in your state, then you can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't do business with my boy over in New York. I can't do business with my boy in Chicago. I can't do business with my boy over in Miami, Texas, anywhere, bro. All you can do is do business in your own state. It's just bigger than that, bro. So with that, I still think California is going to always keep that high quality reputation. I think California is going to be known for having the best quality all time, at all times. So, there's some predictions I have. I think that, these are things to predict. These are things that one can expect coming up. You know, within the next couple of years, I think these are things that people could expect. You know, I'll give you guys some ways to prepare. I'll give you guys some ways to prepare. You know, for what's going down. I really think that, you know, things are going to get tight for a lot of brands, a lot of stores, a lot of companies that are in the cannabis space. One way you can prepare for this thing, you know, this big flood, this change in the market, is one, brand building. Brand building. Brand building. So you guys just start brand building. Hey, can you close that? Yeah, brand building, man. It's just you know, that's one way that you can prepare for this thing, because the brand building is going to be a way for you guys to generate your own unique audience. You want to have a customer base. You know, if you're always just relying on first-time customers, that should just expect a very short-lived business. You got to build a brand, bro. You got to build a store that people fuck with. You know, a place for people to come back to, a brand to come back to. You want the returning customers. So if you want the returning customers, you know, it's best to build a brand, bro. It's best to build a brand. That way you got people coming back. You know, give them something to interact with, give them something to fuck with, give them something to represent. Give them something to represent, dog. You know what I'm saying? I love this shit, bro. I think I discovered a new passion of mine. Pants coming soon. You know, brand building, dog. Come at it from all angles. Give something for people to interact with. I think another way to prepare, and if you guys need help on brand building, bro, just get at me. Like, I do consultations. You know, I've done consulting on a number of my friends' brands. You know, I have my own track record of creating successful cannabis brands. If you guys don't know, just look into me. You know, you can see a lot of the history. I have a website, got the Instagrams. Like, I have a history pumping out successful brands. So I do consulting. If you guys need help, just get at me. Just tap in, bro. I think another way to prepare for what's coming is, you know, get into ancillary cannabis businesses. Like printing. You know, ancillaries, you know, we could do printing. You know, like labels, stickers, flyers, shit like that. You can get into selling wholesale cannabis products, you know, like to like smoke shops and shit like that, like pipes and scales and, you know, whatever else, bongs. You can get into flipping that stuff wholesale. You get into packaging. You get into packaging. You know, selling packaging, wholesaling packaging. If you guys are finding this stuff helpful, man, just subscribe for me. Subscribe, like, all that shit. So wholesale packaging, bro. I mean, these are super easy ways to break into the market. At least just get in the space, because a lot of people just need help getting in the space. So what ancillary cannabis businesses, you know, whether you're opening your own or you're starting to work for someone else, but those are just different ways that you can avoid being affected by, you know, the flood. Try to find ways to service the flood market. So, you know, licenses, people can get licensing, you know, and that really is good, because at some point, all the people in the city are just going to go to the licensed dispensaries. I mean, they might have a couple hookups here and there at unlicensed dispensaries, but Eventually, everybody's just gonna be going to licensed dispensaries in Cali. Like, there's not too much unlicensed trapping going on for the retailers. Not anymore. A couple cities, but not really. I should get shut down immediately. And then, using the blue ocean strategy. Which is, try to come into the market by entering parts of the market that no one's competing in. Try to enter parts of the market that nobody's competing in. Reason is you got, got less competition. It's easier to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Enter parts of the market that nobody's competing in, so you just have your chances of being successful are a lot higher. Getting alternative products, alternative markets, new markets, and just check stuff out. There's different parts of this beast, man. You don't have to sell the green product. You don't have to sell the plant. There's plenty of other ways to get money, bro. So, what can be done, man? What can be done about the way it's going? I think everybody needs to hit the lottery. No, honestly, I think what can be done is probably people need to smoke more weed. Or these states really need to put a cap and enforce the fucking cap of the grow licenses. I really don't think Oklahoma the state should have really left it like that. I think they're going to try to put a ban on a number of cannabis businesses, but bro, they have over 6,000 licensees. It's fucking insane, dog. They're never going to be on a shortage of bud. They're never going to be in a shortage of bud. So I think, cannabis permit caps should be allowed for businesses to be able to compete. I also think that's really it, bro. I really don't think we're going back, though, to be honest. I don't think there is a good chance that we're going back to high prices, high markups. I mean, I think people could still get a lot of money in between now and then, but I think where it's headed is I don't think we're ever going to get back to, people having a limited supply. I think limited supply is a thing of the past. I think, would the borders ever open up to distribution? If the country goes federal, then I think that the borders will open up. I think the borders will open up, and I think people will be able to do business with one another across state lines. But I think the reason why it hasn't is because it's just not benefiting certain people. Benefiting certain people. There's still a lot of money being made, the way things with the way things are right now. So, how cheap can cannabis go? Real good question, man. Real good question. I think we've seen over the past couple of years between the floods and droughts. I think we've seen some. We've been able to put our eye on what a floor is on the cannabis, and what a ceiling is, a floor price and a ceiling price. In the wholesale market, at least. I think with the retail market, I think it's always going to stay the same. I don't think retailers are going to, I think they do less sometimes, less than $10 a gram, but I think $10 is going to be like, where it starts. Maybe like $7-8 is going to be where it starts if you got some like outdoor stuff. But for like indoor cannabis, it's not going to go below $10 a gram. That's just where it's been. I mean, we've seen it be in the 15. I used to get 15, 20 at my dispensaries. I used to get 15, 20 a gram, and I've even done 25 a gram in some cases. I've even done 25 a gram, but $20 grams used to be my number one item going out of my door. My dispensaries. So with the wholesale market, we've seen over the past 4 or 5 years that 6 years, the floor and the ceiling hasn't changed much, and we've seen best of both worlds. So I don't know. I don't know how cheap it can go. It's a really good question, bro. It's a really good question. I don't think indoors are ever gonna go out of style though. I don't give a fuck. Even in this flood, tickets are still high. But for real quality, it's scarce because it gets eaten up so fast. Got to have that that top. I don't think people are ever going to quit smoking outdoors either. I think that's just here to stay. I think outdoors are here to stay, bro. Outdoors are here to stay. As long as people can be in there, go to the gas station, and that stuff be there. Walmart, that stuff be there. Outdoors. It's cheap. But if you're really in this, like you're in this, like you do this, you enjoy what you do, you have a passion for the business, for the market, for the branding, or with the product yourself. So you'll want to have a reputable brand. You want to have a name, bro, that's like reputable. Feel me? So, well, honestly, man, moral of the story, bro, we're getting into a deep flood. So expect to start seeing some shit, bro. Expect to start seeing some shit. There will be blood. Doors are going to start closing. People are going to stop growing. People are going to get out of the game. Watch, bro. I see people fall on and fall off all the time in this game, bro, but it's just about to be more of that. You're going to see some, you're going to see some soldiers fall, but you're also going to see some soldiers rise, I think. It's just some market change, bro. Just got to do what it do, baby. Got to adapt. Got to ride that wave, baby. Got to ride that wave. You know what I'm saying? So, moral of the story, bro, build a brand, baby. Just do that shit. Build a brand. Build a brand. Because that's going to get you a foothold in the game, bro. It's just, you don't want to be a price-based business, man. Just build a brand. Just trust me, dog. Trust me. Prepare for the flood, dog. Just, start planning on that now. Start planning on that. I mean, you should have already had a plan, but that's what you should plan on. They're just being a crazy-ass flood, so figure out how to adapt. Save your money, save your money. I know all that EDD money was great and all, but save it. Because don't expect the market to return to the way it was. I really don't. I don't think it will. Because I really don't think it will. I don't think it's gonna return. So yeah, man, you already know. So that's my prediction. That's where I think the market's going. But we're still out here getting it, bro. Everybody who's got brands right now, I mean, life's great, dog. Everybody's still doing what they do. So branding. So yeah, man, you already know. It's been the Tapped In with Grasshopper podcast. It's been great. You know how this goes. Y'all been tapped in, tapping out. We gone.
But I got what you need. Had your phone getting busy. Yes, indeed. Lost 30K, didn't even miss it. Real plug. Might just show you.